What up, world? Welcome to another episode of I Bleed Sports. And like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere, BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, BrandonJaneauShow. Oh, BrandonJaneau. Sorry, BrandonJaneau, Instagram and Threads. Facebook, The BrandonJaneauShow. And of course, TikTok, it is BrandonJaneauShow. Um, YouTube channel is BrandonJaneauShow, man. Go there, catch all the visuals, catch all of the shorts that I've been clipping. Shout out to everybody that's been subscribing. Shout out to everybody that's been commenting. Shout out, it's some old stuff that's getting commented on, everything, man. I hope you guys truly enjoyed these episodes, man. Let's get into it, man, tonight. Let's do it, man. I Bleed Sports. You already know it's Tuesday, so you already know, man. It's I Bleed Sports, man. Let's get into it, man. Craziness throughout the whole year. I mean, of course, tonight I will be doing my players that are up, teams that are players and teams that are going up, and my players and teams that are down bad this week for the NBA. Of course, my crazy six. The polls have just been revealed about college football. I have my own feelings on that fucking polls. I talked to my brother Juan today on our show, Jax Wild. Go follow him on All Sports Talk podcast. This is Instagram. Um, yeah, I got my crazy six. I got my crazy six. Um, so yeah, and of course, eyes on college football for this week. My skeptical game of the week, my most interesting game of the week, my upset game of the week, and my game of the week. And of course, you already know the NFL. My big four of the NFL this past weekend was freaking nuts. The big, I'll be talking about my big four in the NFL and my levels of warning in the NFL. So let's kick it off with something that I haven't done all day this year so far. Well, I'll talk about boxing. But let's start off with boxing, right? Let's start off with that. So Friday night was the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Now I've been very open and very honest about the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Um, it was boring as fuck. Let's be real. It was super fucking boring. Yes, Netflix, and this is something I said Saturday. I did a podcast, some amazing people, and I said this right after the fight Saturday morning. I was on a podcast with some people, and I said literally, um, that fight was terrible for boxing. It was a very terrible thing. Now again, Netflix got their money. Netflix is going to bring in their money. Netflix got their money. The gate at AT&T and Jerry Jones, they got their money. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they got their money. But the main event itself, see, we keep trying to over insert that. Oh no, it was a spectacle. No, you sanctioned a fight between a 57-year-old fucking 58-year-old man and a 27-year-old YouTuber. There's nothing about that situation that was fucking supposed to be sanctioned. The card itself was great. I will always say the only thing that saved this for being a complete and utter just slap to the face of boxing was the actual fucking boxing on the fucking card. Like the KD Taylor and the Amanda Serrano fight was great. They went out there and got the fucking hitting each other. That shit was beautiful. But here's the thing about boxing that people don't understand. A lot of these motherfuckers are casuals. So you watch these women fight, and then the shit goes to the person that got their ass whooped. How? Amanda Serrano won that fight. See, this is the thing about boxing. Yeah, it's great up until the point where Katie Taylor won the fight, and you're just sitting there like, how the fuck did she win that fight? Amanda Serrano outlanded her easily, like 100 punches, 100 punches more, and she lost the fight. Nigga, how? Make that make sense, please. Make that make sense, because you fucking can't. That is the thing about boxing. Even when you bring in casuals, they watch this shit and you see that, and that could turn fans off because it's like, nah, I don't think that was supposed to go that way. The beauty of boxing is also its trepidation of boxing, which is they're rigged sometimes. The judges don't know what the fuck they be doing. They fuck up, and that's the thing. The Mario's burial, the Barrios and Ramos fight, that shit was fucking good. The thing that saved this card was the actual fucking boxing. The the thing that saved this card was the actual fucking boxing. But the fact of the matter is, and this is the thing, man. I I truly believe that this is a spectrum. That was a spectacle, whatever. The money got there, cool. But again, we keep always putting shit into the mindset of it's the money and it's money and it's money and it's money and it's at some point we gotta just be honest with ourselves and be like, listen, man, yeah, money's great and all, but the destination of the situation was completely and utterly uncalled for. The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight fucking was terrible. It wasn't good for you. It wasn't good. And I said this literally last fucking Tuesday. I said Jake Paul could win the fight, and immediately people would sit there and say it's rigged. And then he didn't really win. You beat old Mike Tyson. And that's exactly what the fuck it was. It was literally you beat old Mike. You're never gonna get respect, bro. And until you actually really fight a actual boxer, you're never gonna get the respect, bro. This motherfucker, the fight ends. He goes and does a press conference, and he calls out Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is a hell of a fighter, but he ain't a boxer. You got these real boxers calling you the fuck out, and you sitting there trying to say you big time and you money. And no, bro, you will. The only way you become a champion now in the world is if your ass create a title. That's the only way I see you becoming a champion in boxing. Because you will never be a champion the way you moving, bro. That fight is, bro. You don't. I don't gain respect for Jake Paul. I actually lost a lot more respect for this motherfucker, to be honest with you, because you have the nerve to sit there and say you're bigger than boxing. You have the nerve to sit there and say you are the king of boxing. No, motherfucker, you're not. The only reason why people even tune into that fight is to watch Mike Tyson knock you the fuck out. That's it. And he knows that. He's gonna probably get Conor. He's probably gonna fight Conor. He's probably gonna fight one of these MMA guys, probably a brawl knuckle champion. He's gonna do something stupid and go fight another person. He's never going to be a boxer. Yeah, he boxes, but we don't respect him. He's never gonna get credit for being a boxer ever. And you can and his fanboys can get mad at that all the fuck they want. He will never be a boxer. You will never be taken serious as an actual boxer. You will never be taken serious. That fight Friday should have told y'all right then and there how seriously he takes this shit. Because there's no way in hell you got in the ring with a 58-year-old man for 2 minutes and 8 rounds and thought that shit was good for you. This is another thing. He has no career. You have no career. The only time you actually fought a semi-actual boxer, you fucking lost. You lost. And Tommy Fury ain't that even that fucking good at boxing. He sucks. He's not even that fucking good at boxing. That's crazy to me, man. Like this shit is bad, man. Like listen, man. Again, J Paul gonna continue to get y'all with the okadoke. He gonna continue to get y'all with the okie doke because we want to see chaos and confusion, and we want to see, and that's the way we live in this world now. Entertainment has taken so much a turn into what we actually deem entertainment that Jake Paul is always going to get his money because people are going to want, like I said, he knows people want to knock him the fuck out. He knows people are going to take the fights with him because they want to hit him. They want to hurt him. People are going to watch the fights because they think somebody's going to finally beat him. And then when it doesn't happen, we can sit here and be like, man, that's fucked up, man. That's stupid, man. And plays into the role, man. There's no reason for this fight to have happened Friday. There was no reason for it. Mike Tyson was on his deathbed in June, bro. June. The man was on his deathbed in June. The man was in a hospital in. I won't say deathbed. But the man was on. It was in the hospital in June. Fast forward the clock. This man had a knee press on, bro. Now people posting this shit of Mike Tyson tagging him, and then he kind of like stopped and bro, no, Mike Tyson could not move in the ring. He couldn't try. Dude had a fucking knee compressor on. Like, bro, no, man. Like, listen, man. Jay got you. He got us. He got us. He got us, man. He got us. He got us, man. He got us with the money. He got us. We tuned into this bullshit knowing damn well that this was never gonna be a good fucking match. We knew it. We knew it was never gonna be a good fight. We knew that shit. And we fell for the fucking okey doke. We all fell for the fucking okey doke. It is what it is. It happens. We all fell for the fucking okey doke. The motherfucker got us. It is what it is. We gotta just admit it. Jake, you got it, bro. Mike Tyson and Jake, y'all got us. We fell for the good old okey doke. It's cool. We get it. But I promise you, you will never. I will never watch a Jake Paul fight ever again in life until you get your ass on the ring with an actual boxer. And I'm talking about a real boxer. I'm not talking about these bare knuckle MMA old veterans retired out the ring for 15 fucking years. They ain't been in their prime in 20. I'm talking about somebody like Arthur Bedav, like Arthur Bedav, or you get in the ring with Daniel, Daniel Du Bois, or you get in the ring with you get in the ring with certain people, man. You get in that ring with them people and really try to test your skills. Until then, man, I'm not falling for the okie doke again, bro. That's the end of that shit. I will never fall for the okie doke again. That's the end of that shit. Y'all could continue to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I will never fall for the banana in the tailpipe ever again. There's never gonna come a time where I'm gonna let that shit happen. Jake, yeah, like I said, y'all could go watch that shit. Y'all can go watch that shit. Y'all can continuously put money in his pockets and get mad after you get your shit taken from you. I don't understand the madness. Like I said, we all tuned in Friday because we wanted to see Mike Tyson get back to his dominance, and it didn't happen. And then we're like, oh man, this some fuck shit. But the next time Jake Paul fight and it's not an actual boxer, you falling for that shit. I can't even get mad at you. You falling for that shit. That's your decision. He hit you with the okie doke, and you gonna continuously watch that bullshit because you want to see if him and Conor McGregor fight, bro. I'm not even tuning the fuck in. I already seen Conor McGregor box. His name was Floyd Mayweather. He got his ass whooped. I'm not watching that shit no more. I'm not watching that shit until Jake Paul gets in a fucking ring with an actual fucking boxer. I'm never going to watch a Jake Paul fight. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't even give a fuck if they. There will never come a time where I will watch a Jake Paul fight, man. Not anymore. I watched this one because I want to see Mike Tyson. That's literally what everybody's gonna tell you, and it's the truth because I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to see Mike Tyson. I want to see if Mike Tyson can actually return back to the hands of time and actually do something to this man. Once I see this man walk out with a knee compressor on, I say, "Oh yeah, this ain't gonna end the way I think." This ain't gonna end the way I think. Man, now I'm kind of pissed off. I kind of hope that Jake Paul would have knocked the nigga out. He needed to knock him out now. Like, bro, this nigga beating on Pawpaw, bro. This nigga was beating on Pawpaw, bro. We not even gonna. this nigga was, this nigga was beating on Pawpaw, bro. Man, bro, come on, man. Fuck out of there. Now. This nigga was beating on Pawpaw, bro. A Friday night, we saw this nigga beat on a old man, bro. Elderly abusing this bitch, and we was like, that old man would have whooped his ass for the years ago. Yo, 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 yo. Think about that for a second, man. This man beat on Pawpaw. We said, man, the old man would have whooped his ass 25, 30 years ago. we all, we all, we immediately was like, man, that old man would have whooped his ass 25, 30 years ago. That nigga would have whooped his ass, nigga. What you talking? Man beat on Pawpaw, bro. We watched this man beat on Pawpaw, bro. This shit is ridiculous, bro. Oh nah, man. Nah, man. Speaking of fighting, John Bone Jones returned to the octagon Saturday, um, and fought Steve Miocic, former world heavyweight champion of the UFC. Fought him, beat him in third round, TKO'd him, knocked him out. Listen, man. Listen, man. John Bon Jones is one of the greatest to ever do it. I've been a fan of John Bon Jones since 2009. I had the old, what was it, UFC? I think UFC two. Yeah, UFC two on PlayStation 3. Yeah, I had that game on PlayStation 3, and I used to play that shit like every day. John Bone Jones is one of the greatest to ever do it. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. I get that these kids want something new, and everybody wants something new. When somebody has reached the level of dominance and greatness that John Bone Jones has reached, you immediately start to you immediately start to um, want something new. Now, Tom Espedal, I think that's his name, Tom Espedal. Tom Espedal is the new kid on the block. Everybody's screaming, "Please go fight him! Please go fight him! He needs to fight you now." He's the interim world heavyweight champion. I get why people want him to fight him. I've never really seen Tom Espedal fight, really, to be honest with you. I've never really seen the kid fight, so I can't really speak on the man. But what I can say is this: John Bone Jones has been doing this for too fucking long. And like I said, I get that y'all want to sit there and get mad at him and try to, but he had what he said is 100% right. He's he, he's right. What John Bone Jones said at his pressers throughout the before the fight and after the fight, he's right, bro. Like you want me to fight a dude that I pretty much can probably beat in my fucking sleep. I can probably whoop his ass in my sleep. And yet you want me to fight him because that's just the new fan favorite? If I beat the fan favorite, then who's gonna be the new fan favorite that you think I should fight? It, Now Alex, I don't think he should fight Alex either. I think Alex is too young. Well, Alex and him about the same age, he said. So about the same age. But him and Alex, I think that fight will be so fire and so legendary that even the most hate motherfuckers will love that fight. But John Bon Jones decided not to fight dude, or if he does fight dude, he's gonna beat him. I'm sorry. I know people are gonna sit there and act like I'm lying or, oh, Brandon, you. I've seen too many John Bone Jones fights. I've seen John Bone Jones go through all types of shit, and then he fights and then he dominates, bro. Like this shit is crazy, bro. John Bone Jones had been out of the octagon for like two. Yo, this dude been out of the octagon for like 2, 3 years. 2, 3 fucking years. Like the man's been out of the octagon for like 2, 3 years. Came back and won the World Heavyweight Championship. Came back and won the World Heavyweight Championship, bro. Y'all really want to play this game with this man? You really still gotta believe that this man could just beat anybody in their sleep? This man dominated the light heavyweight division and then dominated the heavy and is now dominating the heavyweight division. And you niggas really sitting up here trying to tell me, but such and such could beat him. Y'all one of them gotta see to believe, motherfuckers. I see. Gotta see to believe, motherfuckers. All right, let's go. All right, players and teams going up versus players and teams that are down bad this week. Let's start with the positive. Player that's going up in the NBA this week. That guy going up in the NBA this week. That's LeBron James. LeBron James is my player that's going up this week. Old man River. Uh, old man LeBron. He is walking in with four straight triple doubles in a game. You cannot undermine that situation. 39 years old and is 4 triple doubles straight in a game, and you're winning. That's a massive thing. Now, I got my own feelings about the Lakers, and I've always said I got my own feelings about the Lakers. Sometimes the Lakers just do a little bit too much. It's kind of funny because me and my brother Juan was talking about this morning that they already talking about the Lakers already talking about putting the rookie Dalton Connect into the starting rotation, and I've been said that's a stupid fucking thing to do because you have no bench once you do it. But again, LeBron James don't know no fucking better, and he's going to go with whatever he thinks is the right move for him and keep his legacy afloat. But at the end of the day, man, LeBron's winning games, and he's winning, and the Lakers are winning games, and that is a massive, massive thing. And I think that the Lakers, as good as the Lakers are right now, eventually they're going to hit a wall, and that's just how I see it. No matter what happens, I just think the Lakers are just going to hit a fucking wall. Um, but LeBron right now, so far, is doing amazing. He's doing his job, and he's winning. So I can't get mad at that. My player that's down bad this week is Luka Doncic. We have been waiting for Luka. Well, y'all have been waiting for Luka to win a champion, to be the MVP of the NBA and win a championship and do everything that pretty much everybody thinks he should do. And instead, he has not done it yet. He hasn't done it yet. Got to the NBA Finals finally last year. Congratulations. But Luka has always and will always be a liability on fucking defense. So me watching the game that he had against the Utah Jazz a couple days ago, and he kind of just was like, "Oh yeah, my defense just wasn't. I kind of I let my team down because of my defense." Bro, your defense has been a problem for you for too many years now. I get it; it's a regular season game. It doesn't matter. But you lost to a 3-10 Utah Jazz team. At some point, that's got to be a call out. What the fuck are you doing? I'm not saying Luka's not good. I'm not saying Luka can't be the guy. I'm not saying any of that shit. But let's be real. Let's keep it a beat. Like, let's be 100 with this shit today. At some point, Luka, bro, you gotta be better than what you are, especially on defense. Dallas needs you to show up in the big moments, and then sometimes you just don't do it, and that's a problem. That's a massive problem. Let's keep the negative going, the negativity going. Let's keep it that way. The Philadelphia 76ers is my team that's down bad this week. Philly is 2-11 now. They called a players and team meeting last night, I guess, at the Miami after the Miami loss. Do I think Philly could turn it around? No, I don't. You go 2-11. Yeah, you would catch a winning streak. I think anybody in the NBA could get a winning streak. It's not that fucking hard. You play Atlanta 3 times. You play Atlanta 2 times. Charlotte 2 times. Chicago once. Maybe New Orleans, who's really bad, Utah at some point. You get that type of schedule at some point, and you looking at the schedule, but like, man, we could probably win like at least 8 of these fucking games in a row. Then anything is possible. I mean that, but what I mean by they're not gonna get back into it is they're never going to be seen as the best team in the East. It's the same thing with Milwaukee. Milwaukee right now is such in a fucking hole. It kind of makes you just look at the team and be like, man, listen, as the East is not great, but fuck, the teams that actually are good is Cleveland and Boston, and you can't even catch them right now. What the fuck is going to happen? The Knicks are trying to figure that shit out, but the Knicks are okay this season. You still got the Pacers who, again, are trying to figure that shit out. A lot of teams are trying to figure that shit out, but you are 2-11. Joel Embiid is always hurt. If he's not hurt, he's not playing because you don't want to play. Paul, you putting your faith in Paul George to be healthy for the most of the fucking season, and that shit ain't reality. Tyrese Maxey, who's the only consistent player you have, he's hurt right now. What the fuck is Philly? Like you could call out as many player meetings and team meetings all the fuck you want, but at the end of the day, bro, you're not fixing this shit. And at some point, you need to cut ties with motherfuckers and realize, all right, it's time to rebuild. Now, I don't know if you sit there and say that about Joel Embiid. I don't know if you feel that way about Tyrese Maxey, but you put a lot of money into these dudes, and they are 2-11. And Joel Embiid just came back like 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, and he ain't doing shit. Bro, I don't need you to be playing like Philly fans. I fuck with y'all. I love y'all, but I've been told y'all this is what. It was 2 teams. I was like 3 teams this year. I was like, I don't see it this year. One is actually showing me that they're good, but I already knew they could get there, and that's Boston. The other two teams was Milwaukee and Philly. You putting too much on these players to be great every fucking game, and then when they're not great, you don't have the team to make it up. This is why I said Cleveland was gonna be great this year. I was like, Cleveland's gonna be great this year. And my team that's going up this week is the Houston Rockets. I live in Houston. I've been to a couple of Rockets games the last 2 years. I'll probably go to another couple games this year. I don't know when I'm gonna go. The tickets are very fucking cheap. Um, I want to go to like when they play Minnesota. That's what I really want to go. I want to go when they play Minnesota. I don't know how high the tickets gonna be when they play the Knicks. I want to go see the Knicks this year. I damn sure want to see the Warriors. Um, I would go for the Pelicans. That's the only games I have went for, but I don't really fuck with the Pelicans right now. Them sons of bitches suck. But Houston is a very young team. But Houston is good, scary good. Houston is a very young team that has nothing to lose. You're in the Western Conference. You're in the Western Conference that, um, for the most part, is really predicated on its young players. Minnesota with Anthony Edwards, um, you know, outside of maybe Golden State and the Lakers, look around the Western Conference. A lot of these teams are built by the youth. Say Gilgeous Alexander, um, like I said, Anthony Edwards, um, Victor Wembanyama, um, yeah, Darren Fox. Even though Darren Fox been in the league for like 7, 8 years now, Darren Fox is still like in his 20s. Like that shit's nuts. Like he's still in his 20s. Like this shit is crazy. So a lot of the Western Conference players are very fucking young. A lot of the stars of the Western Conference are very fucking young. That's the thing about the Houston Rockets. You don't know who the fuck is the star in Houston. It should be Jalen Green. It should be him, but it's not him. Jabari Smith is starting to kick it into another gear. Like they drafted him a couple years ago. He's finally figuring out his role. You got Shangoon, who's been here for a while, and he's a fucking beast. That man's a walking fucking double double every fucking game. Maybe even a triple double if he really puts the effort into it. Houston's a different fucking caliber, bro. Like that team is fucking good. And here's the thing: they got a really good fucking head coach. Ime Adoka is the Rockets head coach. People forget that Ime Adoka is the Rockets fucking head coach, bro. He knows how to coach basketball, bro. Like Boston for all those years with him, and now he's in Houston with another young core, and he's coaching them up to standards, bro. I'm telling you right now, Western Conference is going to be an interesting fucking thing because it might be like two or three teams that you just didn't even think was going to be in the top of the Western Conference. You could probably see Minnesota, maybe Golden State keeps it, the Thunder definitely, but then you're gonna be looking at like, wait a minute, when the fuck did Houston get third? When the fuck did Houston get second? Houston's a one seed? Like you be just sitting there like, what the fuck? When the fuck did that happen? And that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it, man. So yeah, college football. Gotta take a breath with that shit. College football. I don't know how the committee is doing these games, doing these rankings now. I don't understand them. Uh, I don't even think they understand them. This shit is bad. This shit is bad, man. Kirby Smart after the Tennessee game got all up in arms and talked about some. I don't know what we need to do to get, in the committee's good graces. I mean, we winning these games, and Kirby, you are going to be in the fucking playoffs. Shut the fuck up. Even if you don't make the SEC championship game, you're going to be in the playoffs because you're Georgia. And that's my thing. I am an SEC kid. I fucking despise the SEC bias. I fucking hate it. Reason why is because, yeah, years ago, that was the best conference. Years ago, when LSU and Auburn and Alabama and, yeah, when they were beating the shit out of each other, the SEC West and then the SEC East was always between Georgia and Florida. There was never a good team in the SEC East. But now we got Texas and we got Oklahoma and we got the SEC. It's not a good conference. Yeah, we get it now. You beat on you. You beat on each other. We get that shit now. We understand that shit. But that doesn't work if you can sit there and tell me Alabama could lose to Vanderbilt and not lead in the game at all, lose to them outright the entire game, never even led in any point of the game, and yet they still get a place in the fucking championship. They still get a place in the fucking in the playoffs because they're Alabama. Nigga, what? 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 Ole Miss lose to Kentucky and then loses to LSU, but you gonna tell me they get a place in the fucking playoffs because their only good fucking win was Georgia? Huh? The only good win this whole fucking year was Georgia. You lose to Kentucky. You lose to LSU. The only reason why you even in the playoffs is because you beat Georgia. What? What? The fuck? Are you serious? Oh my god. Georgia's in the playoffs because they beat Texas. Oh, oh yeah, you beat Clemson, who supposedly is a good team that you think is a good fucking team, who almost lost to Pitt on the road this past week. Okay, sure. I don't think the committee knows what the fuck they're doing. And then you do Illinois in the top 25 tonight, only because Illinois has lost to Oregon, Penn State. Who was the other third loss? They lost to some fucking body. Can't remember the third loss. I think they also played Indiana. And they lost to Indiana. There is no reason for Penn State to be in front of fucking Indiana, who's undefeated. The only reason why you keep Penn State in front of Indiana is because Penn State played Ohio State and they lost to Ohio State. Because the same shit you can sit there. Indiana's been dominant all fucking year. Penn State has struggled all fucking year. They almost lost a Bowling fucking Green. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? What is this? What are we doing? The fuck are we doing? That shit is nuts. That shit is nuts. You only keep certain people in positions because you want to boost up the other people's resumes. That's fucked up. That's wrong. You can't do that. You cannot fucking do that. You can't do that, man. You can't fucking do that. There's no way in hell that makes sense to an actual normal person. Let's get into it. College football. My eyes on college. My crazy six of the college football coming into week 13. Number one, six teams. This is my six. I don't give a fuck about what the polls said. These are my six. This is what my eyeballs are telling me. Number one, Oregon. Escaped is the word. Escaped Wisconsin this past Saturday. Um, they're 11-0. They're on a bye. Next game they play against Washington. I think that's the last game of the year for them. Before the Big Ten championship game, all they have to do is just beat Washington. They already are in the Big Ten championship game. Shocker. Um, they're in the Big Ten championship game. Oregon is 11-0. I listen, man. Like I've been said, Georgia, the jury is out on Oregon for me. I will never. Oregon literally has to win a championship for me to be like, all right, maybe Oregon was a really good team. I do not see it. I, I don't see it, man. I don't fucking see it. I'm sorry. Like Oregon is good. Again, like it's funny how people could sit there and tell you that nobody's played nobody, but the only game you can even give Oregon, like I said, their best win is Boise State, who's actually leading the conference that they're in right now. That's their only good win. I know people gonna sit there and say, "No, it's not. It's Ohio State." Let's be real, honey. Let's keep it a beam. Do y'all really believe in Ohio State this year? Do you really believe in Ohio State? They gonna probably be Indiana Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised because Indiana could come in with the fear, intimidation of it's Ohio State. But if Indiana comes in with the nah, motherfucker, we're not afraid of you. They could beat Ohio State. If they treat Ohio State like nah, we just as good as you are. If they come in with that energy, Oregon versus Indiana could actually be the Big Ten championship game. Then what the fuck happens? Then what happens? What do you say then? Do you sit there and still tell me Oregon's best win is Ohio State? No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I'm not saying Ohio State's bad. I'm not saying Ohio State's great. But Oregon's best win is not fucking Ohio State. I know people think it is, but it's not. Their best win is Boise because that game was actually really fucking competitive. And Boise only lost that game because of a field goal. But Oregon's number one. Number two is Indiana. They're 10-0. Like I said, they go to the Horseshoe this weekend. They play Ohio State. Big game. I will be talking about that in a couple minutes. Indiana, I've been had Indiana in my polls for a good bit now. I've been having Indiana on my crazy six for a little bit of time now. I'm not surprised Indiana's good. Indiana's coached very fucking well. Indiana has always been a really good fucking team. ESPN today kind of let the quiet shit out loud today, which was Indiana's got the same fucking schedule Michigan got. The same schedule Michigan had last year, Indiana has this year. But the only reason why we're not giving Indiana that same love, that same respect, that same uh give a fuck is because they're Indiana. That's it. And I'm happy somebody finally said it on ESPN today, even though he wasn't trying to say it like that. But that's exactly what the fuck he meant. Because they had the same schedule as Michigan last year. Not really that fucking great. But they ran through the schedule. And everybody was still sitting there like, Michigan should be number one. The difference between Michigan and Indiana last year is Indiana actually is dominating motherfuckers on their schedule this year. Michigan was good last year, but it wasn't dominance. You have to also put into perspective. Michigan was sitting like Michigan had Jim Harbaugh for like 6 fucking games last year. The other 6 games were coached by an interim head coach, the same coach that's coaching Michigan now. Indiana's had their same head coach for years. Now, I don't know if Indiana's quarterback is going to be playing this game. I know their starting quarterback is banged up. I know he's hurt. Heard somebody stupid today on TV was like, "You don't want to get your quarterback hurt, and then so you're not gonna play him in the Ohio State game? That's just fucking stupid of you to sit there and tell people, no, I wouldn't put him in the starting game against Ohio fucking State. The fuck? Are you stupid or what? Are you dumb or what? Are we the fuck are we doing? Yeah. Indiana 10-0. They go to Ohio State tonight. I mean, they go to Ohio State Saturday. It should be a good game. If I'm Indiana, man, I'm treating this shit like it's the Big Ten championship game. I'm doing everything under the sun. I don't give a fuck. I might not even make it to the Big Ten championship game. If I lose, I'm definitely not making it. Ohio State's in front of me. Penn State's in front of me. You have to treat this game like it's the Big Ten championship game. Because if you beat Ohio State, Penn State has no reason to be. And that's another thing I hate about this fucking poll tonight. Penn State's in front of Indiana. Why? Indiana, who's been dominating every fucking person on their schedule, and Penn State, who's barely been squeaking the fuck by. Squeaked by USC, squeaked by Bowling Green, squeaked by and lost to Ohio State in a big fucking game, and it wasn't like you motherfuckers were close in that game. What are we talking about? And I had to hear these motherfuckers sit there and tell me, well, if Indiana loses to Ohio State, I don't see how you could put them in. Are you serious? Indiana, who's dominated everybody on their fucking schedule, you gonna sit there and tell me they shouldn't be in a championship game in the playoffs, but Penn State should be? Are you fucking kidding? Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, man. All right, man. That's playing no fucking stupid to me. I don't know, man. Number 3 is Boise State. 9-1. They go to Wyoming this weekend. Look, I've been very open and honest. Austin Gentry is my Heisman Award winner. I don't give a fuck how good Travis Hunter looks in the Colorado uniform. I don't give a fuck. This man is putting up motherfucking in college football and ESPN college EA Sports college football numbers on motherfuckers in real life games, and we sitting up there trying to explain to motherfuckers, but Travis Hunter though, he needs man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Austin Gentry is dominance. That's what he is. Walking dominance. 9-1. Like I said, Boise's only loss is to the number one team in the country. And the number one team on my list, Oregon. And it was on the road. And it was and they fought their ass off in that game. What are we talking about here? Like I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Boise should be number 3. I know Boise got the 4th spot right now in the college playoffs if everything goes the way it goes. Boise would be in the playoffs. They'll be the 4th seed. But nobody wants to give Boise that. And I already know they don't. They don't want to give Boise that. But the Big 12 is fucking up. The ACC is Miami's right now. The Big 12 have nothing. I don't know why the fuck Tulane's not even in the conversation of being in the top 20, top 12. When Tulane, what? They lost 2 games so far this year. Why Tulane not in it? It just, I don't get it, man. But I don't understand that shit. But anyway, Boise start. 4 is Notre Dame. 9-1. Listen, 9-1. Like I've been said about Notre Dame, it's damn near impossible to not accept the fact they lost to North Illinois. North Illinois is about to play football right now. They're 6-4 in conference. They're 6-4 record wise. 3-3 in conference. So Notre Dame, you lost to a team that wasn't even that might not even make their own conference playoffs, their own conference tournament, the conference championship game. Like you lost to a team that didn't even make the conference championship game. Are you serious? But Notre Dame right now in the polls, I think what they was like 6, like 7, 8. Like they're in the top 10, which is crazy to say. But that's the thing about it. Like, how the fuck is Notre Dame in the top 10 when their worst loss is worse than anybody else's loss? Like, that shit is nuts to me. Y'all can sit there all day and tell me Miami's loss was worse. No, the fuck it wasn't. That, that's a conference fucking game. Like I said, the one thing about Notre Dame that will hurt Notre Dame is the fact that Notre Dame does not have a fucking conference. Now, clearly, they're never going to get told that that's the reason why they shouldn't be in the playoffs because it's Notre Dame. It's a record. It's the brand of Notre Dame. But to sit there and tell me Notre Dame should be in the playoffs over a team like Tulane or somebody like that, when your worst loss is fucking North Illinois, is just that's ridiculous to me. I don't get that shit. Number 5 is Miami, 9-1. I did not have Notre Dame. I did not put Miami over Notre Dame this week. Stay tuned. Um, 9-1. Miami's 9-1 to me. Listen, I still think Miami's the better team in the ACC. I don't know how the fuck they're not leading the conference when Clemson lost to Louisville, but you gonna sit there and try to tell me Miami? You gonna tell me Miami is behind now SMU? Behind SMU in Clemson? Nigga, how? They lost to Georgia Tech. All right, cool. It happens. But Louisville, Clemson lost to Louisville. Miami lost to Georgia Tech. SMU's lost didn't even come in the ACC. That's how crazy that shit sounds, ain't it? Louisville's only loss didn't even come in the ACC. It came against BYU, who's in the Big 12. So I understand why SMU's at the top of the conference, but Clemson in front of them is freaking stupid. I don't understand that shit at all. But it is what it is. And then number 6 is SMU, who is also 9-1. Oh, Miami goes. Notre Dame goes against Army. They'll be in, I think, MetLife Stadium. I think they're in the MetLife or Yankee Stadium this week. They play Army, who's 22nd, I think, in the polls right now. Or 19th in the polls, some shit like that. Miami's 9-1. They play against Wake Forest at home. They need to dominate that fucking game. Stop playing around. Stop being fucking nonchalant. And 6 is SMU, who's 9-1, and they go to Virginia. Like I said, SMU's only loss this year has come to BYU, who's 14th right now in the polls, who led the Big 12, who still leads the Big 12. Um, that's crazy. It's crazy that SMU has had this type of season. The only losses come again, like I said, to a team that wasn't even in that conference, in BYU, and it was a very close fucking game. So it's not like they. It was not like it was a bad loss. It was a very close game. SMU's dominated a pretty good chunk of that season. So I'm not too surprised that SMU uh, right now is sitting there. Like I said, the ACC is going to be an interesting conversation. Um, like I said, I don't know how the fuck Clemson is in front of Miami, but teachers on, my nigga. Teachers on. I was on college football, week 13. Like I said, skeptical game of the week, my most interesting game of the week, my upset game of the week, and of course the game of the week. Let's start it off, man. Let's get it going. Skeptical game of the week is, of course, Wake Forest versus Miami. Like I said, Miami losing to Georgia Tech literally a week, 2 weeks ago. I hope that they go, they took the bye and they took it serious, and now they know our margin for error is very fucking slim. We cannot do that shit no more. That that's just play hard later and then figure it out in the second half and all that other shit. No, you can't do that. You can't go up 14 points and then let Duke come back and score 17 straight points. That shit not gonna work no more. You have to dominate these fucking teams. I get it. I get it. You don't wanna do too much. Fuck that. You have to dominate. I've been said Cam Ward was the was the best quarterback coming into the draft this year. Cam Ward needs to have Cam Ward fucking numbers now. He needs to go out there and pretty much put the Heisman conversation back into his hands. You cannot play around no more. This shit is done. You gotta stop that shit. Cam Ward needs to go. Miami as a fucking team needs to go out there and fucking dominate. There is no more playing. There's no more fucking around. None of that shit. You need to dominate. Wake Forest is not great, but Wake Forest is always a sneaky fucking team in the ACC. They can always get you in a game. You got to blow their ass out 50 fucking points. You got to. There's no more room for error. You have to dominate this fucking game. If you do not dominate this game, it's a problem. It will become a fucking problem now. Most interesting game of the week is Army versus Notre Dame. Like I said, Army is what 20th, 19th in the polls. Notre Dame is in the top 10 of the polls right now. Listen, Army's undefeated. Notre Dame is 9-1. I believe in my heart of hearts that Notre Dame is going to get in the playoffs. They're getting in the playoffs. Why are they going to get in the playoffs? Because they beat Texas A&M, not because they beat Navy. Because Tulane just beat Navy and beat them very decisively too. But the only reason why Notre Dame is actually going to get in the playoffs is because they beat Texas A&M, who still control their own fate in the SEC, and they can make the SEC championship game. That's the only reason why they're going to make it to the playoffs. There's no real reason for Notre Dame to be in the playoffs. Not one. You beat Navy, you beat Army. Really? That's what we sitting up here trying to give these motherfuckers credit for? Navy and Army. Really? That. And you only beat Texas A&M the first fucking week. I guess, nigga. Like that's that strict the schedule shit. Like you can't even sit up there and try to give me that. They also played Florida State and beat the shit out of Florida State. That's funny because Miami just beat Florida State. It beat the shit out of Florida State. But yet Miami is a team you want to question, and Notre Dame is just a team that's just gonna make the playoffs. Huh? Most interesting game is because this game is the only game that is to me is the two ranked teams. Notre Dame is gonna clearly win this fucking game. I don't see Army winning this game at all. I think Notre Dame is gonna beat the shit out of Army. The only why it's interesting to me is because this this game is gonna go a long way for Notre Dame when it fucking shouldn't. It really shouldn't because again, what's their strength schedule? The only team you can even noticeably say was a good team they played was Texas A&M, and that's it. And like I said, out of all of the teams, Notre Dame has the worst fucking loss out of everyone. Northern Illinois. You can sit there and try to say Miami has a bad loss. That's conference. Shit happens in conference every fucking day. I just saw Kansas beat two fucking top tier teams back to back, and they're 4-6. It's conference. Shit happens. Notre Dame losing to fucking North Illinois, it should have never happened. It should never happened. Upset game of the week is Colorado versus Kansas. Like I just said, Kansas literally just beat two of the top Big 12 teams back to back weeks. Iowa State, BYU. Colorado now comes to Kansas. That's a problem. Kansas has always been good. That's the thing people don't understand. Kansas has always been good. This season just wasn't great for them. I mean, a lot of injuries happened early in the year. They couldn't really get back to good stuff. But now they're healthy, and Kansas could definitely catch Colorado. Like I've been saying, man, Colorado's feeling themselves. Colorado thinks that this shit is just gonna be an easy season to walk through. Now, Do I think Colorado just loses to Kansas? Fuck no. I would never sit there and tell you Kansas just absolutely beats Colorado. But I will say this: Colorado hasn't really been on the road too much this year. Colorado's not been on the road too much this year. That plays a lot into college situations. Last year, Colorado had already been on the road at what? USC. No, USC came to them, but they had a lot of road games last year. That's why they kind of floundered last year. Look at Colorado this season. Most of their games have been at home. I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying that Colorado can't beat Kansas. Kansas is starting to get on the road. Do I think Kansas wins three straight games against top 25 teams? Fuck no. That shit is damn near impossible, bro. Like you even when you at home, that shit's damn near impossible. But that game, that letdown game Colorado's gonna have at some point is probably gonna be this weekend because Kansas is going to try to do everything in their power. Again, like I said, Kansas has nothing to lose. Colorado has everything to lose. When you play a team like that, that's a scary feeling. Very scary feeling. And game of the week is Indiana versus Ohio State. Um, this is gonna be an interesting game because this clearly tells me right then and there, winner of this game goes to the Big Ten championship game. Winner of this game goes to the Big Ten championship game. It is gonna be Ohio State It's gonna be Indiana. Penn State, I don't really see Penn State getting there. It's gonna be either Indiana or Ohio State. That's who's gonna win this. Indiana or Ohio State. The winner of this game goes to the Big Ten championship game and plays Oregon. And for right now, that's all that matters to you. That should be the only thing that really matters to you. And that's why it's gonna be an interesting game. Indiana just shows up and plays their ass off. You can't sit there and tell me they shouldn't be in the playoffs. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, Big Four of the NFL. Listen, before I get into that, so the Jets fired their general manager Joe Douglas today. They fired him, right? And here's another thing, man. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers is going to torpedo this team. He's already done it. But here's the funny part about all of this shit. Here's the funny part about all of this shit here. You know what this situation just showed me personally? You know what this situation just showed me? Them firing the general manager today. You know what this just showed me? They're looking for a quarterback next year. The Jets are going to go get a new quarterback next year because you have to rebuild. You have to reboot this situation. You have to. You have no choice now. Aaron Rodgers has now ran off a head coach and a general manager. I would be absolutely fucking shocked if a fucking head coach general manager tandem come into the Jets next year, look at Aaron Rodgers and say, "Yeah, we could win with you." That's fucking retarded. That's fucking ridiculous, and it never will fucking happen. That's fucking stupid. No fucking general manager and head coach in their right fucking mind will sit there and tell you, "Yeah, we can win with you." That's never gonna happen. That's You're 41 fucking years old. What the fuck makes me think you gonna win a championship with us? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You ain't even a leader. You are a guy that likes to blame shit, and when shit don't go your way, you want to blame shit on people. It's your fucking fault. Nobody else's. It's yours. You made this team, this franchise, worse. How the fuck did you do that? Again, like I said, like I said, there's never gonna come a time where if I'm the Jets and I'm a Jets fan and like I'm a GM, I'm a Jets organization, there will never come a time where I'm going to sit there and I'm going to sign off on bringing Aaron Rodgers back because he doesn't fit my offense. That's just stupid. I would never do that. I can easily see the Jets becoming. I can easily see the Jets becoming the last team to get a head coach and a GM. I can easily see it because it's too much shit going on to the point where I don't know what you're doing with Aaron Rodgers. Now, if you make up your mind, Woody Johnson, that I'm going to let go of Aaron Rodgers this season and I'm going to get rid of Devontae Adams and we're going to build from that, then I did. Cool. But what in this is something that I told my brother Juan today. It's like the Jets forced this situation. They didn't have to take Aaron Rodgers. They could have easily signed Derek Carr. You didn't have to take Aaron Rodgers. There was no reason for you to do that shit. Derek Carr came to your facility. Y'all said y'all fought with Derek Carr, and then you let him walk because you thought Aaron Rodgers would fit the team better? That was stupid. That was stupid. Now here's the funny part. They might get Derek Carr next fucking season. I don't know if the Jets draft a quarterback. I just don't think it happens. I don't think the Jets draft a quarterback next year. I think they go get Derek Carr. I said that I joked about it a lot. I joked about it a very lot about how I think the Jets would easily. I joked about how I thought the Jets would probably go get Derek Carr to keep Devontae Adams, and it kind of feels like that's what's happening. It, it feels like that's what's about to happen. So yeah, just want to talk about that. All right, big four. My big four in the NFL to me. And number one, come on, really, it's the Detroit Lions. 9-1, absolutely decimated the fucking Jaguars. Oh my god. 9-1, absolutely decimated the Jaguars. Um, 52-6. Lord Jesus, God Almighty. They go to the Colts this week, who beat the Jets this past weekend. Detroit is different, man. Detroit is different. I don't look at Detroit and think Detroit isn't this team, man. Detroit's different, man. Detroit's fucking different, bro. I've been on the Detroit quote unquote bandwagon. I've been on the Detroit bandwagon for a while now. I've been saying Detroit was gonna be a really good team for years. If you go back and listen to my old episodes, I've been told y'all Detroit was that team. I told you this shit last season. I told y'all the season before that. I said, man, Detroit gonna be a team that everybody don't really see, and I'm not surprised about how great Detroit is, man. Detroit is dominant. Maybe that offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. You lose a Pro Bowler and got another Pro Bowler. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL, and that's saying a lot. If he could just stay on the field, Jameson Williams is one of the most explosive receivers in the NFL. You don't have one, you have two dominant fucking running backs, Sonic and Knuckles. Running back duo. And David Montgomery, who, crazy as it is, was drafted by the Chicago Bears. And David Montgomery, and people forget, David Montgomery was a fucking beast as a running back in college. That motherfucker was killing shit at Ohio State. Iowa State. He was killing shit at Iowa State. People forget that. David Montgomery had like the rushing records for like a long time in college football. People forget that shit. David Montgomery been that dude, man. And then you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who a lot of people said last year, I don't know how the fuck they would draft a running back in the top 15. That don't make no sense. Now it makes all the fucking sense. Like, nah, that makes fucking sense. And here's the thing that I've been saying, that defense has improved, man. I know we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles secondary, but that Detroit secondary ain't to be played with either. Them motherfuckers are good. Detroit is beating the shit out of people, and I get it. Like I say all the time, people are so afraid to admit that Detroit's good because you're so used to them being the laughing stock of the NFL. It's one thing to have a one season where you just dominant and then you're like, nah, that shit ain't gonna last. This has been consistent. This has been a consistent rise for Detroit. Last year they made it to the NFC Championship game. What the fuck do you think gonna happen this year? I've been said this shit. Like it's a perfect example. Like I said about the Saints. The Saints to my brother Juan today. The Saints. Everybody was like, oh man, I can't give the Saints that. I don't think the Saints going to the Super Bowl. I don't think the Saints gonna win a Super Bowl. And then we won in '09, and everybody was like, what the fuck happened? I'm telling y'all now. And here's the crazy part. I think Detroit has more of a chance to actually build a dynasty than the Saints did. Detroit's smart. They draft fucking well. They have everything. See, the thing about the Saints in 2009, it took a minute. And after the 2009 season, the secondary went back to being bullshit, and it was bad. Detroit has drafted very fucking well in that secondary. A lot of their players, the two cornerbacks that they have, was drafted this year. Like Brian Branch is a safety that's been there, got drafted last year. Aiden Hutchinson is coming back. What do you not do? Man, listen, man. Detroit's different, man. Detroit's fucking different. Number two is the Philadelphia Eagles. I said this once and I say it again. Philadelphia is winning, and I truly believe despite of their fucking head coach. I do not think they give not one single fuck about Nick Sirianni. I think last year they tried to get him fired and it didn't work, and they brought him back, and now they're like, well, the fuck can we do? We just gotta walk. We gotta just walk through this shit now. I truly believe that shit. You cannot tell me at any point that you believe that the Eagles team believe that this guy is the fucking head coach. Not one time. Get the fuck out of here. But they're 8-2. They now lead the NFC East. Congratulations. But to sit here and tell me that you think the Eagles are winning these games despite of Nick Sirianni, come on, bro. Nick Sirianni is not that guy. He hasn't been in a situation where he's had to really coach yet. Now, Thursday night was a great chance, but the defense of the Philadelphia Eagles, like I said, that secondary is starting to grow up. Quinyon Mitchell, who me and my brother Juan both said could either be the number one cornerback in the draft or at least go to a team and immediately be their number one cornerback. We knew this shit was coming. Quinyon Mitchell, we both. There's nowhere in hell Quinyon Mitchell fell to 22nd overall. And then 18 fucking picks later, you draft Cooper DeJean. How the fuck does that happen? Like, bro, this shit is ridiculous. Jordan Davis fell to Philly. Jalen Carter fell to Philly. Nolan Smith fell to Philly. N'Kobe Dean fell to Philly. These niggas need to be questioned for malpractice. This shit is ridiculous, bro. These niggas you know they got Jahan Dotson and they ain't even using him. The fuck? They got Jahan Dotson. They ain't even using this nigga. Bro, this shit is just unreal, man. This shit is unreal. Saquon Barkley is doing video game shit in real life. Like he's doing video game shit in real life. This man hurdled a grown ass fucking man backwards. I'm done. I can't with Philly, bro. These niggas just do shit that is uncalled for. Detroit is unnecessarily dominating niggas. Just bro, you could just throw in the white towel. You don't have to do this to these people. And Philly just out here just doing just unnecessary moves in football games just because they can. That shit is that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why would you do that? 8-2, lead the NFC East. They go to LA this week. This is gonna be an interesting game because it's not just because of Philly being 8-2 and now lead the NFC East and pretty much it's between them and Washington. It's interesting because the Rams need to win this game. The Rams need to win this game. If they don't win this game, you're in a wild card situation, or even worse, you don't win the NFC West. And looking at how I feel, like, listen, man, I've been told y'all, the Cardinals was the team I picked to get to the playoffs and even win the division. I picked the Cardinals to get to the playoffs. I knew they were going to get to the playoffs this year. I didn't think they would win the division this fast. I had the Rams getting to the division first, winning the division, but I had the Cardinals making the playoffs. Now the Cardinals are 6-4, and and the Rams are 5-5, and Seattle's 5-5, and San Fran. You have to keep pace with these teams, and if especially with the way it looks, Arizona's playing Seattle this week. That's a conversation. And Arizona beat Seattle this week. Seattle's kind of now back down in the conference. Green Bay plays San Francisco this week. That's an interesting game. And of course, you got the Eagles and Rams. Rams need to win this game. But if the Eagles win this game, that just puts more of a stranglehold on the NFC East. And they need that. Number three, the Los Angeles Chargers. 7-3. Um had a thriller with the Cincinnati Bengals this past weekend on Sunday Night Football. Um Beating the Cincinnati Bengals in a game like a couple years ago, they probably would have fucking lost. Let's be real. Like they probably would have lost that game. But this is the new Chargers, man. 7-3. Um, Beating the Cincinnati Bengals. They're now 2 games away from the Kansas City Chiefs in the division. I don't know if they're gonna catch them. Wouldn't be surprised if they do. But they're a new team, man. And they play, of course, Monday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens in LA. Brother versus brother for the first time since Super Bowl, what was it, 40 shit. 40 God damn. It was What was the Super Bowl? Super Bowl 12. Super Bowl in 2020. 2012. What was that Super Bowl? Super Bowl what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It was the Ravens versus San Fran. What was that Super Bowl number? I don't even remember it. But this was the first time that they played since then. Played against each other since then. That's a pretty interesting thing. That's an early Thanksgiving uh gift to their family because the brothers are going against each other one on one on Monday Night Football. Listen, I had Baltimore in the top four for the last couple of weeks, giving them the benefit of the doubt. Same thing with the Commanders, giving them the benefit of the doubt. But I gotta give it to the Chargers, man. Chargers 7-3 to start this season. They're having a great start to the year, man. And as much as I want to sit there and tell you that this is the same old Chargers, it's not. It's not, and you can easily see that it's not. Like I said, they usually would have lost a game like this Sunday night against Cincinnati Bengals. They would usually lose a game like that, but they actually won it, and you got to give them their credit and their respect for that shit. 7-3. This motherfucker, Jim Harbaugh, might be. This motherfucker might literally be the best head coach I've ever seen in my life. Because it don't matter where the fuck he's at. It could be college or the fucking NFL. He's going to turn the team around. It's just ridiculous. Like, dope. And it's not like it's a daily. It's like in a year. Like, soon as the game starts, these niggas are good. Like, what the does he got pictures on people? What is going on? Like he didn't told them like if you don't play right, I'm gonna go talk to your mama. Like what's going on? Like they should not be this good this fucking fast. Like that is ridiculous. Yeah, they got pieces, they got players, but not this fucking fast. Like God, 7-3, nigga, really? It's gonna be an interesting game because the Chargers defense is really fucking good, and they can run the ball. Baltimore needs to win this game. And it's not just because Baltimore needs to win the game to keep track with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC. No, no, they have to win the game because now if you lose this game, you're not a sixth seed in the AFC. You're the sixth seed in the AFC. You know who the sixth seed plays in the AFC right now? The Pittsburgh fucking Steelers. And you have struggled against the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers. So you don't want to do that. You need to win Monday. You need to win because the Chargers overtake you in the AFC playoff picture. They will be the fifth seed. You will be the sixth seed. You better win this motherfucking game. That's all I'm gonna say. I do my picks tomorrow with my brother Juan on our show, Jack's Wild Sports Show. Tune in tomorrow. All Sports Talk podcast on his Instagram. And coming in at number 4 is the Steelers, 8-2. Like I said, beat the Baltimore Ravens this past weekend, 18-16. Um, they go up against the Browns this week on Thursday Night Football. That's an interesting Thursday Night Football game. I'll tell you that fucking much. I talk about why I talk about Pittsburgh in a couple minutes about my feelings on Pittsburgh, but I'll say this: Pittsburgh is 8-2. This team is good for what it is, man. Mike Tomlin, though, can we finally get this man his credit? Can we finally get this man his praise? Can we finally get this man his credit? Can we get this man his praise? Because there is no way in hell you see Mike Tomlin coach a team like this, and you still are questioning if he's one of the greatest head coaches of all time. Yeah, he don't have the rings like Andy Reid or Bill Belichick. Okay, cool. But he never loses. He never loses. And if you look at the AFC, Pittsburgh can make it to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh has the better defense than Buffalo. Kansas City's getting tired. I'm not saying they can beat Kansas City, but anything is possible. Yeah. Loves a warning of the NFL this week. For the NFL this week. You already know. 3, yellow is caution. Orange is panic time. Red is DOA. Let's get into it. Number 1, caution, yellow, caution. It's Pittsburgh Steelers at 8-2. Like I said, I was gonna talk about them, and I want to explain why I felt this way about Pittsburgh. They're 8-2. Yes, they won the game against Baltimore, 16-18. That defense kept them in that game and saved their ass too many times that I can even count. But this has been my problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers this whole season, especially with Russell Wilson at the helm. What the fuck does he really change for you? What does he change for you? You only won that game because Chris Boswell is fucking man. That man leg need to go soak in ice. His shit should be soaking in ice still right now. His shit should be soaking in ice right now. That man got the golden leg. Like that shit is ridiculous. That man shit should be soaking in ice because there's no way in hell you see what he did Sunday and you cannot sit there and tell me that's not surprising. The one thing about Pittsburgh that I've been saying is yes, Russell Wilson passes the ball, but what happens when you play teams that's not gonna let you get those passes off? Like Baltimore. Baltimore's defense kept them in that game Sunday, which is very shocking because Baltimore's defense has been very fucking terrible at stopping the pass. And yet all of Pittsburgh's points came from field goals. Think about that for a second. That's my one flaw on the Pittsburgh Steelers is that, and I like how Pittsburgh actually ended the game, and this is something I've been saying. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm thinking about doing that more, which is in certain situations, I'm putting Justin Fields in the game to run the ball. I'm using him like Taysom Hill. I'm going to use his strengths I'm gonna use his strengths for our strengths. The things Russell Wilson can't do no more, I'm gonna put Justin Fields' ass in the game, and he gonna do it. That's the beauty of Mike Tomlin. He's understanding how to adapt with two quarterbacks like this because he hasn't had a situation like this before. But the one thing about Pittsburgh that I definitely have had a problem with is one, like I've been saying, I love that offensive line, but like a lot of that offensive line is very fucking young. You got three rookies that started for you. You have a player last year that you drafted as a tackle for Georgia. Like that's a massive situation, and I'm starting to realize that. So listen, Pittsburgh is a good team. I'm not sitting up there saying Pittsburgh is not a great team, but I do believe the more these games continue and more you get into the season, the more you play, I can definitely see Justin Fields being more used for certain situations, certain packages to give Russell Wilson time chances to go sit down for a quick bit. But the one thing about Pittsburgh that I am very cautious of is that offense. That offense is very, very, very conversational. I think that offense is good. I think the offense could definitely win you games. I think there's going to be, but you saw it in the Giants game and you saw it Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. Sometimes the offense kind of gets stagnant. They kind of can't move. With Russell Wilson, see, even though you could sit there all day and say Justin Fields, Justin Fields, Justin Fields didn't pass the ball greatly, it's not like Justin Fields is bad. It's like he can move, my nigga. Russell Wilson is a very easy sitting duck. He's a very easy sitting duck in games. So if you put him in certain situations, why would I not be surprised if the Pittsburgh Steelers get stuck in certain situations where he can't throw and the offensive line can't protect him to throw? So now you're really putting yourself in a situation. So I can easily see the Pittsburgh Steelers getting screwed sometimes in the playoffs because they run into a situation where they can't throw the football. I can easily see it. So yeah, I can definitely see it. But Pittsburgh is my yellow. That is my caution today. Orange, panic time. Commanders, 7-4. Listen, I haven't talked about the Commanders all season, so let me go ahead and talk about them. In this situation, the Commanders are great. Jane Daniels is awesome. The one problem about the Commanders that I've always had is that you only have Scary Terry and that's it. And Thursday night, you saw that. Didn't have any other receiver. If Scary Terry got locked up by Quayon Mitchell and you had no other receiver, you had nowhere to throw the ball for Jaden Daniels. So you have this man be a sitting fucking duck in the pocket every game in that game. When you play teams that can lock down your number one receiver, it's probably going to be a very problematic situation for you moving forward. So I'm not surprised that the Commanders lost Thursday because it happens. But at the same time, I want to see how Marshawn Lattimore is going to look in his defense. I want to see how this team is going to look because at the end of the day, that's what you need to worry about. Commanders are good, man. I know people that don't like the Commanders and want to talk crazy about the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback. I don't give a fuck how good Bo Nix looks right now. Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback. We can stop this shit. I get it. You don't want to admit it. I get it. You live in a moment. Jaden Daniels at one point had his team at the top of the division, bro. Bo Nix is still third in the fucking AFC West. Stop it. Like fucking stop it. In red is DOA, and that's the Jaguars at 2-9. I'm gonna be honest. I'm shocked that Doug Peterson still has a job. I'm amazed that Doug Peterson still has a job. I thought he was gonna actually get fired today. I'm amazed that he still has a job. I'm truly shocked. After getting your ass after getting your ass whooped like that Sunday. I don't know how the fuck you not still in Detroit. Are you still not in Detroit? They, bro, if that shit happened to my team, oh my god, nigga, hey bro, nigga, find your way back home. Fuck, I ain't gonna fuck you. Find your way back home. Fuck that. No, man, the way he got his ass whooped Sunday, that shit was bad, bro. That's some shit you just look at the head coach and be like, this nigga here, bro. Like you can't even explain it. You can't even explain it, bro. The Jaguars are 29. They're gonna fire Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, listen, man, I do not believe that Doug Peterson's a bad head coach. I know people that's gonna sit there and say he is. He's not. You cannot tell me this man who won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles over Tom Brady and Bill Belichick is a bad head coach. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. A man that knew Jalen Hurts was better than Carson Wentz and got fired because of it. Get the fuck out of here. I hear them now say, oh, the Jaguars are now going to get rid of everybody and everybody could go up. The dumbest shit on the planet is the fact that Trevor Lawrence was paid money, was paid money to be mediocre. Same thing with Daniel Jones. Was paid money to be fucking mediocre. And you didn't want to admit it to yourself. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. The Jaguars are 2-9. They're probably gonna be the number one team in the draft. Have the number one pick in the draft. And something that me and my brother Juan talked about this morning, which was they need to trade the number one pick. They do. They need your number one pick, bro. It's over. It's you. Yes, you need to rebuild, but what are you gonna get that's gonna automatically make the team good? You can draft Travis Hunter. I mean, you could do it. You can go get on offensive lineman, which you probably should do. But this doesn't fix the fucking team. Nothing of this caliber fix the team. Maybe the offensive lineman, but who is he gonna be protecting? Because Trevor Lawrence is still not good, and Mac Jones is probably gonna get let go after the end of the season. Who does he protect? I don't get it. I don't understand it. That's why I say the Jaguars are fucked severely, and that is the thing. That's I Bleed Sports tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I am Brandon Janeau. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. Oh, want to say this. I will be back doing the I Bleed Sports Awards. Second year in a row, I'll be doing the I Bleed Sports Awards. I'll be coming out very soon at the end of the year. Um, yeah, I will be doing the I Bleed Sports Awards. About to start writing down the list in a couple of weeks. So that should be out before the end of the year. Take a break and come back uh, with a new I Bleed Sports, man. I hope you guys enjoy that. But until next time, like I say, I am Brandon Janeau. It's I Bleed Sports. Peace.